Office of the Attorney General, with copy, of course, to you, so that you can kindly accompany them on 4th of December. Because I can see these issues you have raised, it is important if that subcommittee will come, plus you yourself and Office of the Attorney General, so that we can have a meaningful discussion that day.
We have no objection to that approach.
Okay. On the issue of petition on the lack of support for issuance of death certificates and facilitation of counseling by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs families of the victims of Ethiopian air crash that occurred on 10 March 2019, where we lost 32 Kenyans. As a committee, we have noted that the families have started the process of burying their loved ones, and of course others are pursuing justice either here or in America. We request also we defer this issue so that we can get the petitioners to be available and other interested parties, because I have received some requests from, even as Senator Kangata is one of the lawyers, leading lawyers of that case, of some of the victims of 32 Kenyans. So I would request maybe we can defer to 4th, so that we have two agendas: the issue of Aurora and Kimwarer and the issue of Ethiopian air crash, so that we can have those two agendas. So I don't know whether you can note that apart from the issue on the Kimwarer Dam and on the issue of Ethiopian air crash.
In relation to this issue of the crash, I just wanted to add that perhaps it may be useful if the Ministry of Foreign Affairs were also to be involved in this, because this is a matter that is actually within their domain, Foreign Affairs and perhaps Interior, because the issue of death certificates doesn't fall within our jurisdiction. It's a matter really for Interior and Foreign Affairs.
So we have not, I think we have invited the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Ministry of Interior. The CS was supposed to appear yesterday, but because of that event that happened, he requested we reschedule, because there were so many issues that the CS Interior was supposed to answer. So we noted, and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is yet to get back to us on this issue, but we hope by that time. But on 4th, let us agree to proceed on the issue of Aurora and Kimwarer. Then the committee and the Senate will advise accordingly on how we can proceed on the issue of Ethiopian air crash.
And in relation to the additional issues that were raised by Honorable Kangata, and I think some of them were raised by you, Mr. Chairman,
yes.
And there was indication that perhaps you would give us 14 days to address those issues.
Yes.
Even as we await communication on the specific issues, of course we took a note of some of them,
yes.
But it may help, yes, if we could be more specific, if we could get communication from this committee on the specific issues that they would like us to address,
okay,
around the discussion that we had this morning. But I have a further request. Instead of the 14 days, if you could probably give us a little more time. And the reason for that is that in the next 1 week, the Attorney General and myself may be traveling out of the country on official business, so we may not have sufficient time really to deal with those issues. If that can be deferred to some other time, perhaps, next year, sometime next year, when we can exhaustively discuss those issues. I agree they are very weighty issues. They are very, very important for all of us. And because of that, my submission is that they would require a little more time to grapple with.
Okay. Of course, the issues will meet as a committee and maybe advise on the way forward on those weighty issues, but it has been captured. We record all our transaction of the committee. We shall reprint all the issues and put it in our communication. We'll agree with the committee probably when we meet next week on Tuesday, and maybe we'll ensure you will receive the communication. So on that issue, of course, we can agree on 4th, we can proceed with Aurora and Kemorer, but on the other issues, we'll agree and communicate on how we can proceed. Even with the multi-agency proposals on the amendments to issues of corruption. I think that would be appropriate.
We're most grateful.
So now I want to take this opportunity to thank you very much, Solicitor General and your team, for finding time to be with us. You have realized that the issues we have had are very weighty and very important for the country, and we want to continue to partner to ensure that we serve at the best interest of Kenyans, because what we want is for the best for this country. And I know this is not the last time, and we want to thank the Attorney General also. Despite his busy schedule, he has always been at hand to engage with the community, with the committee on many aspects. So we would want to continue to engage and ensure, as the issues keep rising, we have an engagement with you and your office, and more so on the issue of Matt. I think he has been very instrumental, especially when we have called for a meeting. And even as you request some of those issues to move to early next year, we shall consider having the background that we have engaged before fruitfully in our discussions. So we thank you very much and wish you the best, and also request that if there is any further information apart from the presentation that you have done that you feel you should share with the of course, you still submit through our clerk of the, especially on the issue of the TGRC report, that because as a government also we rely on the advice of the Office of the Attorney General. So if you find any further information for the other questions, I think the Senate should or the committee should be aware of, we are willing and ready to receive. So maybe you wanted to make a comment before we conclude?
Yes, I want to thank you, Mr. Chairman, for this invitation, and just want to assure you that we will continue to partner with you.
Kamati ya Seneti kuhusu sheria ikiongozwa naye Seneta Samson Cherargei